Good morning, everybody. It's the 26th of August. We're Signal Centre Talking Ball. I'm Joe Neighbour, joined by Steve O'Hare. Good morning, mate.
Good morning, mate. All right.
Yeah, not bad. Thank you very much. Everything
Jolly
okay with
good.
you?
Yeah, all good in the hood here. Had a nice
Excellent.
curry last night, so
Okay. A couple
all
of trips
feels
to the toilet
satisfied.
this morning.
Yeah, it will be. But a very
Takeaway,
nice
would you go
curry.
out?
No, we had a takeaway. And Darren's,
Ah,
it was his birthday, isn't it? He's
ah,
542, I think.
okay. Surprised he's made it
So
that far.
yeah, yeah.
Well done. Good man. Happy birthday, Darren, if you're watching. Um, okay, so what's happening in the world of markets this morning? A little bit of a turnaround in stocks yesterday, I noticed. I
Turnaround
think
Tuesday. I did tell you that yesterday,
you,
didn't I?
you did actually say that, yeah. I think possibly a little bit of steam running out of the vaccine chat,
Yeah,
maybe, which
yeah,
boosted stocks at the start of the week, and obviously stocks turning lower yesterday. We touched upon, let's just first get FTSE up because we talked about
yeah,
that yesterday. It was a reasonable rejection around about this 61.8% level. Let's get the hourly chart up on the screen and share that.
yeah,
So we talked about this big turnaround, and it pretty much sparked selling throughout the rest of the session after that. Mining stocks were pretty weak, and obviously they've got a pretty big say in what goes on in the UK market because there's quite a number of them listed on the FTSE 100. They had a dragging effect and sent everything lower, hitting lows around about 5 o'clock before a mild recovery. But then we've seen a bit more selling again this morning.
yeah.
Um,
Looks a bit more negative this morning, doesn't it?
It does. Looking at oil, that may help prop the FTSE 100 up. In particular, we got the start of the hurricane season, which is now underway. Typically, September is the most active month for hurricanes, and we've already seen certainly one, Hurricane Laura, I believe, which is due to hit the Texas, Louisiana coast this week. Already been upgraded to a category 3, obviously not up at category 5 levels, which is obviously the most destructive. So we'll see what that does, but it could mean that a number of America's largest oil refineries will be shut for a number of months,
Yeah.
and that could help further boost oil. At the
So,
minute, it's stuck below 43.60, which is resistance, but looks pretty poised to break out of that range. Let's scroll a bit further back on the 4-hour charts. You know, trading in a decent corrective or certainly uptrend channel. Negative oil prices seem a million miles away from where we saw them back in March, don't they?
they do. A million miles and $1 million away. That's the biggest. They reckon it could be the biggest storm threat in 15 years since Hurricane Katrina, who
Wow, what
I'm sure.
Laura or the season itself and what it's
Laura,
caused?
yeah,
Okay.
Hurricane Laura poses the biggest storm threat to US oil output in 15 years. So yeah, if that develops, that could be a bit hairy. Um, yeah, not a good thing.
No. Elsewhere, just while we're on commodities, gold continues to trade within this triangle pattern or consolidation. It had a little bit of a test of the lower end of that yesterday or this morning, possibly attempting to break below these swing lows that we saw on the 21st and the 25th. Um, just doesn't seem to be moving anywhere really
No,
at the moment. And considering the sell-off we saw in stocks yesterday, there was no real sort of correlation there between people shifting out of indices and into gold, which can often be seen. But maybe gold's trading more in line with risk assets than being considered as a safe haven at the moment.
yeah, very possibly.
One thing I did notice was Bitcoin. Possible head and shoulders top pattern formed there, a little bit messy and sort of trending higher, but a break of this support here at 11,370 potentially forming a head and shoulders top. That's had a
Nice.
reasonable run of late, so we could see maybe a maybe that's a
Yeah, it
top
looks
sort of
like it.
pattern there.
Definitely has that the hallmarks of a top, doesn't it?
So yeah, keeping an eye on that. That was one of the things that sort of piqued my interest this morning. Aside from that, there wasn't a whole lot else. Have you got anything on your charts?
No, just sort of like contemplating this dollar. Again, it's hanging around the 93.13 level. Funny enough, euro dollar winning a sort of like bit of a corrective channel. I'm not going to buy a break on that for the just sort of like looking at dollar weakness to continue eventually. There's an upward trending support line coming in around about the 130.60 level, trying to get into cable. Dollar yen, again, there's a
Everything
couple.
yen related yesterday was
Yeah, it was definitely a yen day, wasn't it? But we had this sort of like corrective channel higher, but then we've sort of had this failure here. Is this a corrective channel lower coming in with the momentum stalling as well? And
chop, chop,
also,
chop.
yeah, you see this sort of like the hallmarks of a head and shoulders sort of topping formation. It's not a great one because it hasn't had a really decent rally into it, but it's still sort of playing out in the price action. Dollar CAD, I think, is a little bit different. Obviously, we've got the oil input from that. Obviously, I'm looking at the uh, double bottom on the hourly chart. It needs to break the neckline 132.44 to confirm it. I'm looking maybe at buying a dip here. That's because I'm sort of like slightly bearish on dollar, so I wouldn't like to be getting in too early to this. And the Aussie dollar, I'm looking to sell into rallies. So they're a little bit similar. Euro sterling, we had a bit of a move up. That's rejected again yesterday. So again, looking to sell rallies. That's pretty much it. Nothing else. Yen overnight, little bit of a flag maybe, but it's rejected so far. So have to wait and
Yeah, I
see
mean,
on that.
I think yen weakness looks set to persist. Certainly, the overall
Yeah.
trend favours that. And if you look at the decent moves that we saw yesterday in things like euro yen, um, possibly a bit of a flag forming there,
Yeah.
maybe.
Mm.
I'd be looking to buy dips, I think.
Yeah.
Elsewhere in the news, just sort of cover the corona stuff. Germany extended their program to keep millions of people from losing their jobs. I guess they had a similar sort of furlough system in place to what we did. The Spanish Prime Minister has rejected a new national lockdown, instead putting in pressure on regional authorities to come up with responses to the nation's resurgence in coronavirus outbreaks. A bit of a U-turn in the UK with regards to children at school wearing masks. Kids over the age of 11 will now be required to wear face masks in schools in high-risk areas, so things like Greater Manchester, which comes under that at the moment.
Oh,
Um,
is it only in high risk areas? It's not
only in
every.
high-risk
Right. Okay.
areas, yeah.
And is that down to the school to say it's high risk, or down to the government?
I think it's down to the government to whether or not it's a high-risk area or whether school comes with under that banner. But I think other schools, it will be down to the discretion of the head teachers as to whether or not they want children to wear masks in communal areas.
Hmm.
Um, all fun and games.
Yeah.
Later on in the week, with regards to what's going to move the market, we've got this Jackson Hole summit.
Yeah.
So we're expecting an appearance from Jerome Powell. Many expecting the Fed to go further after their latest meeting minutes sparked disappointment throughout the market. So there could be chat of further stimulus. That is starting tomorrow. So we could see the markets in a little bit of a holding pattern ahead of that, with more sideways chop. Later today, just looking ahead to news, we've got US durable goods orders at 1:30, and then we've got US crude inventories at 3:30, and that combined with obviously what's going on with the hurricanes, we could see some reasonable movement in oil, potential opportunity for that to break out of that range that we went through just a moment ago. We can now, I guess, take a look at the gun to the head stuff if you're up for that,
Oh,
Steve.
yeah. Go on. Forgot all about that.
So let's just share my screen here. So this is the overall standings. We did have a little bit of an uptick yesterday.
Oh.
Not a lot, but some. We had a short trade on the FTSE 100, which we touched upon at the start of the video. That was a 1.32R win, a little bit off of the worst levels at off its best levels at 9 o'clock, but a win's a win, and we'll take that. And Steve, you had a nice win on copper of 0.6R.
Stop the rot, did I?
Yeah, that's still looking. Yeah, that was a bit of a nasty run.
Horrendous
That a 9 run, so never more than 9, as we
Well, I
say.
did say that. I should have reminded everyone.
Should have gone put the house on that one. Copper looking right as well this morning, I think.
Yeah, it's looking a bit perky. So I think we've just been triggered on buying a break of 296. So
do you go with copper again?
I don't know. I'm sort of very tempted, I must admit.
I'm going to throw it over to you anyway to come up with a trade for today.
Okay, let me go with. I'll tell you what I'm going to go with dollar yen. Sorry, dollar. I do not like you. Here we go. We're going to sell dollar yen at what's the current price? 106.27. I'll leave it in that 57 stop. And I'm targeting move to 105.37. A little bit of a double top here, potentially. Break the neckline at 106.24.5, so it's only 3 pips away. And obviously that was a previous swing high. Will it turn into support? That'll scupper my plan of world domination. But then back into the back into the dollar. Sold yours dollar 93.13. You're never going to go above it. So yeah, selling at 106.27, stop at 106.57, and a target at 105.37.
Okay, lovely stuff. Right, I'm going to take a look at gold just because. Really, I haven't really got any reasons other than that. I mean, I've talked about this triangle. It's not really going anywhere, but what I am noticing is that there does seem to be some support around here at the lower end of this triangle, around about 1911. Decent candle forming over the last 45 minutes or so. Further evidence of support there around about 1914. So a couple of levels of support, also the lower end of the triangle. Intraday on our analysis, I'm actually looking to sell it a bit higher up, just because I'm expecting it to remain fairly range bound, but could be an opportunity to buy it in an effort to get towards the entry level that I'm looking at. So going to buy it here at 1920, stop loss at 1910, targeting my entry level at 1959. So 4R potentially to play for while looking for the intraday entry, which is a bit higher up.
Lovely.
So we'll see.
I've just seen another little headline about a 4-day week. Germany eyes a 4-day week to help prevent mass layoffs. And that was being talked about amongst my family yesterday. There's talk within the industries, different industries, of 4-day weeks.
I'll be all over that.
Yeah, I think everyone would, wouldn't they? What if that sort the world out?
I don't know.
Maybe
it's a bit weird.
Relax everyone a little bit more.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Possibly.
Excellent. I feel a bit confident we're going to today.
Good. I hope so. Let's hope for some big wins. Anything else that we should add? Anything else we're looking at? I think we've covered a lot of the news and what's out during the or out for the rest of the day.
Harry Maguire found guilty.
Oh, captain of Manchester United. You don't know who I am.
Yeah. Exactly. Here's your money. And Messi leaving Barcelona.
Yeah, coming to Arsenal, isn't he?
Yeah, I doubt it. And City, I reckon.
Yeah, I think they're the only ones who've got the pockets big enough to do that, haven't they?
Yeah, it would suit their style, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and he obviously knows what.
I don't mind him going there. As defence is their weakness. We're just everyone has to target the defence. Let Messi score 5 and you score 6.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if he can cut it in the Premier League. I'm sure he can, but I think that will
I'm
drag
sure he'll be
on.
nursing a few bruises.
Yeah, definitely. His shins might take a bit of a kicking. There was also chat that this may just be a big ploy to get rid of the president of Barcelona, because I think he was the one causing the issues.
Oh, okay. All right. So he may not go then.
No, may not. Anyway,
All
we'll
right.
find out, won't we?
Yeah. All right.
Okay, nice and quick today. Let's wrap that up. Have a great day, everybody, and we will catch you again tomorrow morning.
All right. Brilliant. Cheers,
Have a good
Joe.
one. Bye bye, mate.
Cheers.